Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to get on real quick. There, Mr. Louie. Lily's over there. I don't know if y'all can see her or not. Laying down in the bed. Anyway, I've had quite the morning. I get up this morning, and my little chair that I've been using forever, my little SpongeBob chair. Quit, Louie. Quit, baby. I gotta have my headphones. My little SpongeBob chair that I've been using forever just broke and collapsed. And then right after that, I went to let Louie out to pee. And bless his heart, he couldn't hold it and he peed all over my clothes and I had just gotten ready for work. He peed all over my skirt. And so I had this little meltdown. I'm like, come on, I can't take much more. I mean, my God, what else is going to go wrong? I had this little pity party. But one thing I've learned from everything that I've been through in my past is that these tower moments, they wipe out all the old to make way for the new. And it's not always pretty. A lot of times we've constructed things in our pain that once we are healed are no longer for our benefit or for our best, greater good. So it gets stripped away. And like I said, sometimes it is not pretty. Sometimes it's ugly. But I look at these moments, I'm at least in a safe space right now. I don't know how long it's going to last. My boss lives in a gated community and it's HOA community. So it's only a matter of time. Luckily it is a vacation community. So some of the houses are empty and, but it's just a matter of time before somebody says something. I'm trying to be as quiet and as not a problem as possible, but I've got to get in and out of my van with my dogs, and so it's obvious what I'm doing. But, my inverter, I'd had that inverter for a year. I've been using the same system for a year, traveling and doing all that. Y'all seen I've been using that system. And this freak accident, I knocked my water pump off and didn't realize that it had splashed over onto my inverter and it fried my inverter. So luckily I've got a charge port that's connected into the battery, hardwired into the lithium battery, so I can still charge my phones and my fan, my one little fan. But I can't run the window fan, which actually pulls in fresh air and keeps the van cool. And I can't run anything else. Like I can't run my cooler. She let me put some stuff in her refrigerator, thank God. But it's like I guess it's pushing me out of my comfort zones because I've gotten so used to being self-sufficient. I've gotten so used to having to. I've had no choice, y'all. That's what I need y'all to understand. Everybody thinks I'm doing this. I'm sorry, I don't want to get emotional. I'm trying my best not to get emotional. But I had a good friend message me and said, maybe van life's not the best life for you. Maybe you need to get into a room for a while. But I'm on SSDI because I have all of these physical issues. They've literally reviewed my physical part of it twice, and I've passed it both times. But when I first got to Oregon, I worked for this farmer. I was making $15 an hour, working 20 hours a week, and somehow or another it got reported that I made over $2,000 a month, the same exact amount for the 3 months that I worked for him, which is total bogus. So I was able to get a hold of him. We got all the check stubs. We sent them into Social Security, and I'm in the appeals process. But the thing is, it takes time with them. And while they're going through their process, they withhold my check. So I don't get that money right now. And I'm only able to work part-time. I'm working 20 hours a week, sometimes 25 if I can do that. But if I try to go over that, my body just shuts down. And I have found this happy medium, and it's not even happy, y'all. The third day that I work, my body is in screaming pain. But then I take my days off to recover from it, and then I start the process all over again. And that's how I've been able to get through. I had to start working part-time when I first got thrown into this situation to be able to afford a room and a place to go for me. And at the time it was Lily. Roommate situations are hard. I've had to deal with other people's energy and all their stuff. And to heal my body, to be able to heal to the point that I'm at right now, I had to get away from everybody and everything because everybody's emotions, everybody's energy, it just went right through me. And especially this in my side. They took out the scar tissue, but I had scar tissue that was wrapping around my appendix and literally squeezing it off. It was making a hard nodule and had moved my intestines over to one side. It gave me gastroparesis. I also have endometriosis. But they did the surgery and they removed all that. But before they did that surgery, any kind of stress was like, oh my God, it was like something was twisting my insides with a hot poker. I mean, it was awful. And I would do anything to avoid stress. And people ran over me because I would just retreat. I wouldn't stand my ground. I wouldn't fight them. I wouldn't do anything. I would just walk away because if I didn't, I couldn't take it. And so I still have a little bit of residual of that feeling. It's not as intense and not as bad, but when I get really, really stressed or really, really emotional, I always feel it right there. It's on my left side. So I live this life, yes, because it gives me some kind of life. If I don't live this life, I don't make myself get up and do things. If it weren't for my dogs, I would sit in my chair and I would go back to that shape that I used to be in, but I can't do that. I have to fight. I know that. I know the only way that I can live is to keep pushing myself to live. And because of that, it feels like I get punished. People are like, oh, she's so strong. She can pull herself out of this. When you don't have resources, you can't pull yourself out of stuff. And so I've had a couple of another lady made this post about how people were begging for money and blah, 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 when this and that, and you'd never find her begging for money. Well, kudos for her. I'm glad she's got those resources, and I hope she never gets in the situation where she needs to reach out for help from other people. It's not easy, especially when you are a strong, independent person. But I'm a strong, independent person because I've had to be. I was in a 24-year marriage. I gave my heart. I gave my soul. I had a son with him. And I tried everywhere in the world to pull him up out of his darkness, but he was a drug addict and an alcoholic. He still is to this day. And I finally had to walk away after 24 years of marriage. And it was the hardest thing I ever did because I really did love him in that moment. I'm over it now. I don't love him now. I feel sorry for him because he's his own worst enemy. He destroyed everything and he still wants to sit around and blame everybody else, especially me, when he's the one that did it. And then I stayed single for 3 years. I fought my way through all of that. Y'all saw me go through that with Denver. I went to Denver because I was literally dying in Florida. I felt it. I was in the hospital for 9 days. I got out of the hospital on Thursday and Saturday. I was in Colorado. I literally left and changed my life. I made myself do that because I knew I was going to die if I didn't. And I had to leave my son. I left my mom. I left everything, my house, a car, everything, and took that leap of faith. And I know my life's been crazy, but I'm trying to live. I'm trying so hard to live. That's all I want to do is live. And I want to have a little bit of peace with me and my dogs. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not asking, I hate this. I hate that I even have to ask. If I had the resources that I've spent on other people and gave away, I wouldn't have this issue. But I do. So if you can help me and my dogs, if it's $5, $10, think of that. If 1,000 people do that, we've got it, And if I get it, I'm not just going to waste it. I'm going to put it into our home and I'm going to use that home to go talk to other people and plant seeds and help other people. I share my life with people so that you can see you can have some kind of life, but you have to focus on it. And yes, it is a sacrifice. And yes, you will hurt. Yes, you will go through your sickness. But the thing is, you're going to go through that if you sit there in that damn chair and die. You're still going to hurt. You're still going to be sick. Or you can get up and force yourself to have some kind of life. And that's what I do every day. I battle every day. I make myself get up. Today, it was time for my alarm. I woke up before my alarm and I reset my alarm for a later. And then I'm like, you gotta get up. You gotta make yourself get up because if you don't, you're gonna be running late and then you're gonna be stressed. And so I'm talked myself into getting up. I did not feel like getting up. I felt like just laying there and feeling sorry for myself, but it's not an option. I got these two little angels depending on me. Louie, look at this baby. Oh, yes, she's the sweetest. And Lily. Oh. Anyway, We love you guys. I just wanted to share a little bit with you. I was awake at 1 o'clock in the morning thinking about all this. I'm doing the best that I can do, and that's all I can do in this moment. And if you can't send anything, that's fine. I don't expect money from people. I really don't. I know how hard it is out there. But I do. I try to help. I just had a friend. She sent me her GoFundMe to share because she shared mine. And I didn't have it, but I sent $10, you know? And I had another friend. She was getting an RV, and I sent $10 to her GoFundMe. I don't have extra money, but when my friends need something, I'm like, I'm going to do my best to help, you know? And if we would all help each other instead of sitting and judging each other and saying all these negative things, the world would change, you know? Anyway, I'm going to get emotional again, so I'm going to get off here. Excuse my mess. I'm not completely ready for work yet. I just wanted to say all this while it was on my mind and while I had time before work. But that's just it, y'all. I'm not just sitting around expecting handouts. I'm working when my body doesn't want to, you know? By the time I get off work, my body is like in such agony. Like it's like walking on glass with my legs and my feet and my back. And I don't complain about this stuff. I don't dwell on it because if I sat and, sorry, internet, if I sat and dwell on all this, I wouldn't get anything done. I would give up, you know? So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Get out and enjoy whatever you can. Get yourself up out of that damn chair. Because if you keep sitting in that chair, you're just going to keep feeling worse and worse and worse. It's not going to get better. Love you guys. Peace.